Hey everybody, how you doing? Hope your happy Saturday afternoon is going well. Man, I've really messed up that opening line. Well, today is the day. After a week of submissions, we have the third official tier list. Well, official community tier list for Nick All-Star Brawl 2. So if you're excited for that, So if you're excited for that kind of thing, let me tell you a little bit about it first before I just reveal it outright. This was from a poll of 24 different players, most of which were power ranked in the top 20 this season for Nasb 2, and so as well as some commentators, some real soldiers for the game. I did not myself because that would, I have an honor code kind of deal with it. But yeah, we are just gonna reveal it right now. I'd say I don't really have any other things to do before then. So without further ado, your Nasb 2 community tier list V3, everybody. Drum roll, please. And there you go. Oh, hang on. Chat seems to be overlaying Patrick a little bit there. There you go, I fixed it. Yeah. So this is it. From a poll of 24 players, there was going to be 25, but Chiptune decided to opt out. Fair enough. I don't force anybody to do this. So yeah. So compared to the last time, some things have definitely changed. Garfield has finally secured his spot in the top 3. That top 3 did not move at all during most of the preliminary days. I don't think it moved. Yeah, I don't think it moved at all. They did go kind of up and down in terms of like minor numbers, but the placements never changed. It's always been Beavers, Garfield, Zim, and that's it. And that's all she wrote. It was set in stone like day one. Danny has fallen off a little bit into S tier, just 4th, but I'd say that's not anything terrible. And we do have some interesting developments here. SpongeBob finally made top 15. Let's go, SpongeBob. SpongeBob wins. I'd say the A- tier is the one that moved around the most. The A- tier definitely moved around the most, and the B tier to a little extent. Squidward overtook Donnie in the end, but he was almost defeated a few times. But he ended up being just barely 21st instead of 22nd. You can see that it's literally like a 0.04 difference between Squidward and Donnie, so it's kind of negligible. And Gertie not bottom 2, so you guys did it. Congratulations, you proved your point. Congratulations. Zuko was almost bottom 2 a few times, but Rimpy just beat him out slowly. Oh wait, actually, there's a typo. Zuko's supposed to be 25.96, so that is a typo. My apologies. That is a typo. It's supposed to be 25. But actually, I can adjust that right now, which I will do. All right, so yeah, Zuko is 25.96, not 26.96. His placement is correct. I checked like 10 times. Apparently not enough. April almost made it into... I forgot to turn off ads for the stream. I'm so sorry. April almost made it into C tier a few times, but in the end, she persevered and she's in B tier. I'm sure Robin will be very happy about that. Donnie stayed pretty much the same. I'd say most people around him moved, but he's still kind of middle of the pack. Haven't watched in a while. How did Patrick end up at the bottom? Well, Patrick did not change his spot at all during the entire run of the tier list. He stayed in that with a considerable gap, he stayed the worst character in the game throughout the entire submission process, throughout the entire poll. So that's why he's the only D tier, because there's a considerable gap between him and Ren and Stimpy. And the reason for it is that he really struggles to get meaningful hits off in neutral, and he also kind of struggles in neutral. He does great damage, but he's kind of a 2-move wonder in neutral. And even when he does get in, he can't convert off of he can't convert very well off of what he can get compared to other characters, at least. Yeah, this is a very offense-oriented game, so yeah. I'd say some surprises. Tigray actually is worse this time compared to last year. Let's see if I can. Where's the old list? If I can look real quick, because I do have it up. Yeah, he was 6th last time, and he got knocked down to 12th. Because it's not really his fault. He's a pretty difficult character to play consistently. But he moved up last time, and then he moved down. As a Patrick main, seeing him in D tier makes me laugh my ass off about. I'm only just a tourist, but where would the cutoff for probably not consistent enough for competition be? I'd say nowhere. Honestly, optimistically, I'd say nowhere. And I feel like most people in the community would agree on that. You can play anybody in this game and do well. But Patrick is probably your worst bet, I'd say. Patrick, that's the reason he's kind of alone in that tier. I'd say Patrick is probably your worst bet. I've seen Ren and Stimpy cook. Connor J, Dan Listo, Arachnite. I've seen Ren and Stimpy cook. Patrick is also cooked too. Sansa, shout out to Sansa, our last minute submission. We love Sansa here. Everybody loves Sansa. You know, yeah, SpongeBob had quite a journey. SpongeBob had quite a journey. He was originally 19th. And in kind of like a last minute ditch effort, he got bumped up all the way to 15th. And I guess the reason is people have more faith in SpongeBob than those other characters like Rocco, Nigel. You know, Nigel's a little bit volatile, Rocco's kind of linear. That would be my guess as to why. Again, I can't really say because I didn't submit my own personal opinions on this. You know, it could also be the Sunky effect. You know, like Sunky is crazy. He's a crazy ass player in any game he plays, and his SpongeBob shows that. So also, I feel like Jabibi is probably gonna be happy because Lucy made top 10. Yay! I know you guys don't care about Lucy, but I care about Jabibi. So good for Jabibi. Lucy made top 10. Congratulations. Ember actually never made it out of A- tier. She stayed there the entire time, but she got very close. There is a considerable gap between her and Ira, though. So even if she went lower than that, I feel like it wouldn't be enough to knock her into B tier, if that makes sense. The way I tier the placements is mostly for aesthetic purposes, but also because I want to make the gaps between each character make a little bit more sense. That's why usually it's like a 2-person gap. It's like a 2-person gap, or like a 2-unit gap. So, for example, Jenny is in 13.54, Plankton is in 15.79. That makes sense to make a gap. And same thing for like the S plus and S tier. You know, Danny is 4.17, Zim is 2.79. So Zim, I was honestly scared that Zim would be knocked out of S plus tier for a while. But no, he stayed in there because you can't get rid of that little green gremlin. He stays there the entire time. Uh... Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, if you haven't played the game in a while, this might be a little bit confusing to you, because I know, like, Nigel was bottom tier for a while. Garfield was bottom 3 for a little bit. We were very wrong about that. We kind of meme about that now. He hasn't been bottom 3 for a while, don't worry. I'm sure if you've seen the Frozen Cavern video, you'll know why he's in top 2. But Angry Beavers, my main. Beavers on top. You can't handle the beaver fever. Let me see. Well, 2 lists in a row. Top 1. Well, the thing about Patrick to me is the fact that, stay tuned about, keep Patrick in your mind, by the way. I'm not going to say what for. But just keep him in your minds. Keep him in your thoughts. Okay, anyway. Shilling aside. The reason I put Patrick in D tier is originally there wasn't going to be a D tier at all because I felt like it wasn't necessary. But then the problem is C tier would be about as big as B tier. And that would look weird. So I had to make a decision. I had to either put Rimpy in D tier as well, which didn't make sense because Rimpy is like decimal placements away from Zuko, or give Patrick his own tier. Because Patrick is so below Rimpy. Like, he's two whole units below Rimpy that it just made sense to give him his own tier. Because he is the worst character in the game. Almost unanimously decided. There were a few arguments there. Like, I think Connor J put him, like, second worst or something. But, like, for most of Patrick's run, 29, people just think this character sucks. And I can't help that, so that's where I put him. He's in D tier. This is a... I mean, to make himself feel better, previously D tier was only like... Don't make fun of my lisp. Previously D tier was only, made fun of... Oh, T tier, like Iroh. Sorry, Nintendo's, I was accusing you of nothing. Previously, D tier was only held by two characters. And then, yeah, so, I mean, Patrick is just there now. So, I mean, I kind of hate to do it to him because I do like Patrick and I do think he's viable by all means, but like, the people have spoken. And I'm going to release, as with every tier list I've made for this game, I've collabed with this game with, I don't know how to describe it, like, every tier list I've officiated for this game, we'll use that word, because that makes it sound cooler. I will be releasing the data publicly. Everybody can view what submissions got through, who submitted stuff, but I ask with utmost importance and respect that you do not harass anybody because of their placements. I do not give a shit if you think Raphael should be 7th instead of 8, and you're going to go harass Senpak because of it. I don't know if Senpak actually did that, but I don't give a shit. Don't do it. You can disagree, but be adults. Yeah, Zuko's... Yeah, I made a typo with Zuko. I fixed it in the browser version. Yeah, I fixed it in the browser version. Sorry, Zuko had a typo on him. He's supposed to be 25.96. So he's kind of in the Gertie. Has Garfield been... Well, Garfield's meta hadn't been really defined until 2020, like late 2024, early 2025. So there was a while where he was considered to be worse than he probably actually was, because we didn't know what he was capable of. And that's why in the first tier list he was embarrassingly bottom 3, and why in the second one he was only 11th, tied with Lucy. So now he's in all of his top 2 glory. thanks to the efforts of Thunder's Reign, Keiki, Rat Dog, all the Garfield players you can think of, Femboy Garfield, all the players you can think of. I sound like the fucking president. I hate the fucking president. But there's otherwise it was honestly kind of similar to the last one in a few ways. Like the A- tier is all the same characters except Krabs. Krabs, he moved up. Krabs was originally 22nd on the last tier list, and now he has made up all the way to 16th, which is a big leap. And I have to thank Devin Swamps for that. King of Utah. We love Devin Swamps in this house. Maybe he could have gone higher, maybe not. We don't know. Maybe he could have gone lower. But the fact remains that Krabs has moved up. He was originally actually, before the final submission, which was Sansa, there was a tie between Plankton and Krabs. And while I definitely wanted Sansa's submission more than anything else, I would think it was really funny if Plankton and Krabs were tied, just for the implications of that. Like, the Krusty Krab rivalry, the Krusty Krab Chum Bucket rivalry is represented in the game, and I thought that was kind of funny. But, like everything else, SpongeBob gets in the way of their plans, and there he is. He sits in top 15. Squidward was definitely a character that fluctuated around a few times. Squidward was almost in C tier a few times. But he moved up. People still show promise in Squidward. He has fallen quite a considerable amount. He was 5th on the first tier list. He was 18th on the second. And now he's 21st. So Squidward keeps going lower, which is kind of thematically appropriate in a way. But yeah, Squidward, people still show promise in him. So he's still at least above Donatello for that one. Is Garfield versus Beavers close or not? Yes, it was pretty close. There was a few moments where Garfield almost overtook Beavers. But Beavers had a better batting average. So they ended up being at the top. And I think that's where they should be, frankly. I love Beavers. They're my favorite character in the game. I know they're annoying to fight. I know they're tier 0. I know they're broken. I don't care. I love them. And if you're curious, there was an optional, as with every other tier list, there was an optional thing to where you could rank the Beavers solo. If you're curious, Dag would be in between Azula and Aang, and Norb would be between Beavers themselves and Garfield. People believe in Norbert. No, actually, hang on. No, that's correct. Yeah, Norbert would be 1.5 on this list by himself, which is kind of insane to think about. And then Dag would be an S tier. Where'd Hyper put Donnie? 8th. Right? He means him. He believes in him. Can't blame him. Yeah, Hyper was definitely the biggest Donnie believer for obvious reasons. Put Donnie at 8th. Everybody else put him in the mid tier somewhere. Yeah. I think Rocksteady isn't terribly surprising. Rocksteady has had a huge resurgence in the past year, so there were 5 Rocksteadies. 5. Count them, 5. 5 Rocksteadies on the power ranking this season. Or last season, I guess now. And kind of showing that character actually can do stuff. And he is very annoying to fight. And for that alone, he's still bottom 5. I think Hyper mixed Raph and Donnie. Well, let's see where Raph is. Hyper. No, he didn't. Because he put Raph at 12. No. Too late now. Too late. It overall, it didn't really impact the list too much. I don't think there were actually, in the later half, when like Senpak and Pokepen and Sansa and Nintunis were putting in, Sansa was the biggest pusher of any of those tiers. And even then, she only pushed like one character up and one character down. And that was it. Like by the later half of this like submission process, it was pretty much finalized. I'm not giving Iroh his own tier. Iroh tier. The awesome tier. A for awesome. Yeah, I bet. A for Aku. I'd say Gerald is really funny because Gerald is like perpetually 11th. Perpetually gatekeeper character, which I think is really funny. Is A tier good in this game, or is it a gap? No, A tier is great in this game. If you're A tier character, you're great. You're doing fine. If you're anywhere, like, I'd say the only time where you're like beginning to struggle is like low B, high C. Even then, it's not terrible. You still got good stuff. You just need to. You're kind of like leaning into specialist territory at that point. But like anyone above that, this is the year for April, I think. Well, if Ronald doesn't shut up, yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. I don't believe that character's bottom two. What do you think I look like? What do you think? I'm crazy? You think I look crazy? No, April was almost C tier a few times, but you know, she's kind of mid, you know. Plankton sucks. I'm gonna ban you. I'm gonna ban you right now. You're not gonna like it. Isn't Patrick bottom? No, he's bottom 2. I think maybe he's bottom 1 now. I don't know. I haven't checked Nasb, won't met him forever, but previously he was bottom 2 because Leo was slightly worse than him. So he's bottom 2. So he gets that glory day at least. So good for Patrick on that front. Unfortunately, he is bottom 1 in this game, at least at the current moment. He might change. I'm not gonna like stop doing these anytime soon. So, you know, next year maybe Patrick will move up 1. Maybe he'll be better than, I don't know, Rimpy or Zuko. I mean, Zuko almost made bottom 2 like multiple times. So that wouldn't be terribly surprising to me, honestly. Actually, no, let me just cheat.
Not even a challenge.
I got a better idea. Sorry, I'm editing the image. Now I noticed that Zuko typo. That's embarrassing, but not terrible. Not something I can't fix. Just gonna go to Gertie. I'm gonna copy and paste, and there we go. Now it's correct. Now it's correct. Fantastic. Did anyone ask questions in chat? I'm sorry. Are these based off competitive statistics? They're based off high level player opinion. So I mean, kind of. In a way, yes. Kind of. Yes and no. They're definitely, you know, results are definitely considered in making these lists, but they're not like the end all be all. Because otherwise, Aang would be like bottom 3. Because like, there's like only like 2 people max to play Aang right now, and I don't even know if I don't even know the name of the second person. So yeah, I mean, it's like you know, it is what it is at the end of the day. I should auto update on stream. Yep. There you go. Yeah, and yeah, so if we ranked every character based on results alone, it would look a lot different, because some characters just don't get those kind of results, and that's okay, because small community, small but strong. But, you know, we do have to, there is a little bit of, you know, theory in there too, and a lot of practice too. You know, I don't think Krabs would move up the way he did if it wasn't for Devon Swamps. I definitely don't think Garfield would be in top 2 if it wasn't for Thunders, you know, stuff like that. You know, Beavers have maintained their dominance because they are very popular to play. they have great results. Think of Murgus, Toastry. Not me, unfortunately. But I don't enter. I work a full-time job. But, you know, others, you know. And, you know. I definitely think some of these characters could move up. I definitely think some of these characters could move down. Raphael is definitely the breakout character of the season. Raph in the last tier list, if I can look real quick. Give me one moment. Old tier list, if I can find it. Where was Raph last time? Raph was in... He was 12th. So he moved up 4 places. So yeah, Raph is definitely the breakout character of the season, I think. A lot of people started believing in him. He's been really good lately. He's got a lot of good reps. He's a very good character. He's kind of like a Diet Azula. What do I think of Rocco these days? I think Rocco is pretty good. He's just very simple, and that's kind of his downfall. A lot of his good tools that were like super broken in early patches got taken away from him. And he's still very much playable, and he's still very good. He's just like not like the crazy character he was before. And I feel like that's, for a lot of people, that's the reason why he's now in the lower half of A- tier instead of like up in A tier. Like he used to be. I think on the first tier list he was S tier. He was 7th. And then he moved down to 13th, and he's moved down again to 17th. So, I mean, I guess that's not what I think of him. That's more what the players think of him, but like that would be my explanation of why Rocco has moved down there and passed. He's still very much playable. He's still very, very much playable. He's just like not... He's kind of predictable, a little bit one note, and very, very safe. And there are just better zoners in this game that can kind of do the same thing he does, but better. You know, Jimmy's more like a stab character, but still. And, you know, of course, Zim. Zim has the whole, you know... Zim has a whole puppet character thing going on. He's really annoying to hit. He has a bunch of bullshit moves that are really annoying to deal with. But he has similar strengths and weaknesses. Yeah. Yeah, Zuko was almost bottom 2. Multiple times. Rimpy went down there. Rimpy is down there instead, but Zuko is bottom 3. Now, Gertie beat him out, which is, you know, if you know what people think about Gertie is a little bit crazy. So, I mean, I don't have much more to say, other than what will probably be said in meta later. I just wanted to do a little bit of a reel. It's already been a half hour, good lord. But, yeah, I hope you enjoyed the tier list. It's probably the most accurate one yet, as far as I can tell. And if not, we always have next year. We'll see who makes it on the PR. We'll ask them, hey, who do you think's good, who's not? We'll see if some of the content creators are still around. And that'll be it. So special thanks to everybody that submitted their responses. I really appreciate you. You know who you are, and if you don't know who you are, you'll see in a few seconds. But yeah, and that's it for me, everybody. I'll see you in Grinders. If you need a link, I will get that for you right away. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 moment. I love this game, and I hope you at least like it. So there you go. Yeehaw. Alright, everybody, I'll see you in Grinders. If not, I'll see you next stream, which will probably be tomorrow, because I'm entering a Punch Time Explosion bracket. So I'll see you then.